Rhett, Coach Malzahn said last night that y'all are going to evaluate every series, every play, basically. Is that process ongoing?
Yeah.
Or has it been done?
I mean, yeah, obviously we spent the whole day doing that. We'll continue to spend the week evaluating everybody, everything. Do whatever we can to put the best guys on the field to give us a chance to win on Saturday.
What have you seen? Have you seen something that says, okay, this is a problem, or this is why this is happening?
You know, obviously it is what it is. We got whipped yesterday. I mean, I think everybody could see that in all facets, in all areas of the game. And we got our tail kicked. And, you know, that happens. Give them credit. They whipped us. And there's a lot of things that, you know, we got to spend time working on to get better. It's everybody, the whole collective offense. We got a lot of work to do to get better. And that's our charge to get ready for Saturday.
Do you believe when you get to Saturday that Jeremy Johnson will be the starter for the game?
Yeah, I mean, he's our starter right now, and I believe that come Saturday, the guys we put out there are going to play hard, they're going to play fast, they're going to represent Auburn the right way.
Was there any discussion during the game or halftime about putting Sean White in just to get him some experience at all, especially when the game was out of hand?
You know, we were playing so poorly, we were really focused on trying to score points. And, you know, we were able to do that a little bit in the second half. You know, our biggest thing right now is, again, we didn't have a lot of explosive plays. We're still turning the football over. And, you know, those things lead to not really be able to get any rhythm. And that's why I don't think you've seen a lot of consistency in any area.
Have you seen this from Jeremy in practice? Have you seen, you know, just the mistakes you can't explain, or is it just popping up on game day?
He practiced well last week. Fully expected him to play well. Fully expected us to play well. Didn't happen. You know, we got a young team. I don't know if playing in a hostile environment for the first time had anything to do with it. I have no idea. But all I know is we didn't play very well. They had a lot to do with it, and you know, we got to work it out for us to get better so we can go win a ball game this weekend.
How frustrating is that as a coach when there are certain things you just can't explain when you're trying to fix things?
I'm not saying we can't explain anything. It's frustrating when you lose. It's frustrating when you play a team that you have a lot of respect for. You think they're a great opponent, but you also feel like you have the ability to compete very well with them, and you don't. And but that's life. Just told the guys that after practice, hey, life, things happen where you get your tail kicked, and there's one or two ways you go afterwards. How you going to respond? And that's our job this week as coaches, to get our guys ready to respond on Saturday. And that's the only thing we can do something about right now. Saturday. We know a lot of things that we got to work on from a schematic standpoint. I'm not going to sit up here and give you a long list of it, but we got a lot of work to do.
Rhett, you looked like there was a confrontation between you, or at least a conversation between you and Jeremy about the gloves or something during the CBS broadcast?
There was no confrontation ever. Make that very clear. It was really hot out there. It was sweaty. A few balls had slipped out of his hands. He had played a series with some gloves on. That series didn't go any better than the others, so I just took the glove off and said we're going to play like we always play. That's about it.
Right, how much, you and Gus both said during the offseason that this obviously was a player that you spent 2+ years with, and he could have gone elsewhere, but you know, he waited his turn, and that was a big part of it. And now he gets here, and in the first game it's pressing, and the other things it's some misread issues. And after the game yesterday, asking, you know, if they made a change, how would you act? And he says he has no reaction, wouldn't be upset if he lost the job after 3 weeks, after waiting for 2 years. This almost sounds like someone who's mentally defeated a little bit, that this is clearly affecting him mentally in some capacity. If he's almost content with losing the job after just 3 weeks, or wouldn't have a reaction to it. You know?
I wasn't aware of that quote, so that's news to me.
How much do you view this as a mental thing as opposed to a physical thing right now for him?
Probably some of both.
As far as the offensive line goes, Rhett, how do you feel about the blocking up front? Do you feel like it's satisfactory or anywhere near that?
You know, we still did some good things in the run game. Again, we weren't out there for a lot of plays, and that's on us, not sustaining drives. And but we did some good things. We got some good movement at times in the run game. You know, there was a couple times we could have pass protected a little better, but for the most part, it was a solid performance. But it wasn't good enough to win, obviously. So.
Rhett, is it important in your mind to settle on a go-to running back?
Yes and no. I mean, I think all those guys do a lot of good things, but we, just as in general, as an offense, we need to get some consistency. And so that's something that we're looking at. As Coach said, we'll look at everyone, we'll reevaluate everyone, look at all facets of what we're doing, And we'll make decisions, and sometimes you don't make decisions based on someone not doing a good job. You just make decisions based on what you think is best for the team and for the unit. And whatever we think we need to do this week to get some consistency, to get some rhythm, to get some productivity, that's what we'll do.
Is there a point where you say about the quarterback situation, okay, it's not getting any better, we have to make a change?
There's always a point at every position, and like I said, I think he said, this week we're reevaluating everybody, and you got to compete every day. I mean, we got good players on this team. We got good players that are playing in other positions. Everybody's got to compete. So we'll put the guys out there ready to play.
Do you think we'll see Jason Smith get a shot at Wildcat? There's always been that discussion since spring. Do you think that could happen at some point?
You never know. Anything's possible.
Rhett, Gus says one of the things about yesterday was that the timing was off the passing game. He said that had nothing to do with LSU. He just said that was Johnson and the receivers not having chemistry. I mean, what do you cite as a reason for that?
Yeah, we didn't throw and catch the ball very well at all. We didn't throw and catch it very well. And poor execution. I mean, we didn't throw and catch it very well. It's that obvious. So, and that's not to not take anything away from them, but they had a simple plan. They got good players. They put them on the field. They let them play. They didn't run any defenses or any schemes or any blitzes we had never seen before. They just ran their defense better than we ran our offense. Pretty plain and simple.
Right, without execution or the mental aspect for Jeremy and all that, just schematically trying to understand for identity purposes, just what you guys are trying to do with Jeremy, because there's supposed to be more passing. You go back to 13, and when the first 4 games it was one style of offense, and obviously you guys made that change to the zone read. If you're going to stick with the zone read, but Jeremy's not doing a lot of running, why stick with it? Or, you know, like if he's not fit for that, why stick with that? Or why not go back to what you were doing those first 3-4 games of 13 with him at this point, if you were trying to pass with him more?
Right. Again, I think it's not a bad question. We're in an ongoing process of adapting to the guys we have. And it comes with the territory. Everybody wants to focus on the quarterback. Obviously, I think everybody saw he didn't play his best game yesterday. And he knows there's a lot of responsibility on him for that. But there's 10 other guys on the field with him. And there's a bunch of other guys on the sidelines, and there's coaches. So we all have ownership in what happened yesterday. And it's on all of us to get it fixed, whatever that takes.
You still think you're getting full effort from your starters at receiver and elsewhere, through plays, through the whistle?
I do. I don't think we're playing very fast. And again, that just is a matter of fact that we're not executing consistently at a high level. We'll have a drive here or there. It's a good drive. And then the next, with 2 drives, we disappear, and then we'll come back and have another good drive. It goes back to that consistency.
You're not talking about, are you talking about tempo or the speed of the play? Because it does look like a little discombobulated at times and running and not as
Well, I don't
crisp.
think guys are playing as fast as they would like to and reacting as fast as they would like to. And that just goes back to the whole thing of we got to evaluate everything. We got to put guys in position and let them go play, and we got to play better. It's just, I mean, we can sit here and diagnose it all. That we didn't play well, we got whipped, we got to play better this week. We all know that, and that's what we're going to do.
You guys look back at Louisiana Tech game tape to prepare for Manny Diaz's defensive state?
Yeah, you know, Manny's he's one of the best out there. I know him well. Great guy, great defensive mind. We played him before when he was at State. Played him last year at Tech. He did a really good job. I think last year Tech was 1 or 2 in the country in turnovers forced. They were up there, I know, and he's doing a good job. You know, he did a good job the other night. They had a chance to beat LSU at home. So Manny knows us, we know Manny, and so it'll be a good challenge.
What's made it difficult, preparing for him and then on game day, because he's managed to keep you guys in check at times?
Well, he's very multiple. He's got a lot of different things he can do. That's how he was at Mississippi State the first time. I believe that's how he was. Never played him when he was at Texas, but I believe he was that way. He was a little different at Louisiana Tech last year. Just over the years, I'm sure he changes things, gains knowledge here or there. They were very sound last year. They had a very good plan for what we did. And, they really made us earn it last year. And while we ultimately did fine, it was a struggle. And so, again, he's got really good players at State, and it'll be a good challenge.
Looking at Duke Williams, how do you feel about his production this season and the rest of the receiving core?
Well, if you're looking statistically, we don't look good in any area. So, I thought he played hard, and going back home and wanting to play well. We had some targets to him early. We didn't hit him, and I was really proud of kind of his attitude and how he kept playing, fighting, blocking, whatever he had to do. He got a couple catches late, but it'd been real easy, in a frustrating moment, to not do that. And he did a great job of competing and fighting to the end. And we got to get him and everybody, you know, involved. And again, when we get some consistency going, everybody will be happier.
You like the way Kerryon Johnson reacted when he got his chance out there?
I do. I thought he was tough. You can tell he's healthy. He's full speed for a young guy. The moment wasn't too big for him. He was really competing. He was fighting hard. You know, he's a guy that with the ball in his hands can make things happen. So that was really good to see. Big bright spot.
If you were happy with the way he was producing, why not just leave him in the #1 spot, just let him finish up the game like that?
It helped me again.
Rock was getting carries and then.
And we were happy with the way Rock was producing.
Okay.
I mean, Rock was making yards. Rock was running the ball well.
Is Stanton true that a young player might get a little more playing time as you go along?
Stanton was a guy who played the most, you know, he's played, and did some really good things. Gave us a few explosive plays. He can really run, had a big third down catch conversion, and I liked what I saw out of him. So yeah, he's someone that, you know, from that game has earned an opportunity to compete and play more.
Is Javon fully healthy? Is he still kind of banged up? Or only 2 carries?
I think, you know, one time he got up and he hobbled around a little bit after one of the carries, but you know, for the most part, he should be as good as he's been, and I would think another week he should be pretty healthy.
But when you evaluate the quarterback position, is part of the discussion what we can do with Sean from a game plan, playbook type of situation, and what we can do with Jeremy? Does anything have to be scaled back with Sean?
No.
Because he hasn't taken a snap yet.
No, I don't think so. Both those guys have been in our offense over the whole last year. They know the offense, so that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Rhett, are you surprised that, I mean, we're here 3 games in the season, and we certainly heard a lot about him in the spring, but I mean, Tony Stevens still has a catch. I mean, did that injury linger at all? I mean, is there any kind of residue from that in the spring at all?
No. Again, statistically, nobody's doing anything that great, and we're not playing well. It's not just Tony; it's everybody. And you know, again, I think one of the questions was last week. You know, trying to play more guys to keep us fresher at the end of the game. Well, when you get in a hole 14-0, you know, sometimes that dictates certain things. But you know, Tony's fine. He was in there last week, played. Matter of fact, one time we had him open on a route. We just didn't have time to get it to him.
Right, not to say like anybody feels sorry for themselves or anything like
Yeah.
that, but just the totality of it, where in one week you can look at a pressing or a decision making, but there are a lot of hours in a day. When you sit back after evaluating a game and just say, over the course of 3 weeks, you've gone from that point to this point. We're asking about backup quarterbacks. Can you wrap your head around just what's gone on in the last 3 games that you've gone from one point to the next?
Yeah, we're not playing very well. All of us. And that's the nature of playing that position. When the team's playing well, everybody thinks you're great, and when you're not, they think you're terrible. It's nothing new for him than it is for any other quarterback around the world. And it's just how it goes. When we're playing well, we know what we're doing. When we're not, we don't. I mean, it's just how it is. And it's, you know, obviously it's not a position any of us want to be in here, talking about a loss and not playing well. But that's where we're at. And we still believe in our guys. We still believe we have good players on this team. And we still believe that we're going to play well starting this Saturday. And that's the most important thing. We get out in front of our fans, Jordan here at night, in a night game against an SEC opponent that beat us very soundly at their place last year, and that we play extremely hard, and we play extremely fast and extremely physical and play well. And that's the #1 thing we can do to fix this, and that's what we're going to work to do.